Blue Devils are trying to fetch their third win of the year. The Wofford Terriers come into the mighty Cameron Indoor Stadium on this Saturday afternoon. It is ACC Network basketball from Durham. Wofford and Duke meeting for the 8th time. Kevin Brown, John Crispin, good afternoon on this Saturday, a beautiful Saturday. It is here in Durham, and Duke coming off its first test of the year, a loss to an experienced Kentucky team on Tuesday. Cooper Flagg had a double-double, played very well, but the Devils faltered late. What do you think they learned?
Well, I think they learned what really matters. I think they learned what it takes to actually win at a high level. Look, being good requires dedication, humility, and effort. And just because you're Duke and more talent, it doesn't mean anything's going to be handed to you. Being great, as Duke aspires to be, it means you got to check every box that you learn about through a lot of losses. And I think that's something this Duke team learned pretty quickly, that balance is required to be great. Balance is required to be good, to be quite frank. Balance is required to make the game easy for your best players. That's something we didn't see in the second half, didn't see down the stretch, and shot making, play making was a challenge. The good thing is this is a Duke team that has championship level personnel. I think Mason Gillis is a part of that. I think Sion James is a part of that. But this guy, Tyrese Proctor, may be the most important piece of that because of his ability to shoot the basketball, space the floor, and create balance on the floor to allow your Konkanippels and your Cooper Flaggs to do what they do.
It was a really stagnant second half offensively for Duke. Proctor took just the 2 shots, the junior guard. Can Duke find a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more aesthetically pleasing basketball today? They have the personnel, as you said. Can they find the style? They'll try to take a step forward. In game 4, Wofford's got the tip in front of another Cameron crazy crowd here in North Carolina. Wofford Terriers picked 4th in the SoCon, coming in at 1-2. And the first shot of the game will go for Kyler Filowich, a senior from Manitoba. Over the top of the freshman, come on, Malowich. He, Flagg, and Knippel are the Duke freshmen, along with Foster and Proctor. The best freshman class in the country, which has certainly stolen the show through Duke's first 3 home wins over Maine and Army, and the loss to Kentucky. The sophomore Foster misses on the 3, and the rebound down to Wofford. Starting 5 for Wofford, no relation for the Baileys. Dylan and Justin. Corey Tripp, their leading scorer, with Jackson, Sibbles, and Filowich. And a 3 from the corner missed by Justin Bailey, the transfer from USC Upstate. Beg your pardon, Jackson Sibbles, transfer from Murray State, with that missed 3 for Wofford.
You know, there was so much hype around Cooper Flagg, seeing what he did against Team USA, but it is a different game. There's different spacing with pro rules and playing with pros. There's a bit of an adjustment that Cooper Flagg has to make within college basketball, and that takes time. I'm more of the Aaron Rodgers approach, where it's like, relax. They're going to learn a lot early in this season, and what they do now doesn't establish their true potential.
Not the Aaron Rodgers 2024 approach, I hope.
No, different one. Like the cool one.
Off the missed 3, here's Duke. Proctor looking for Malowich. Catch couldn't finish. The tip not there from Proctor in the lane. And Duke has missed its first 3. Inside of Filowich. Flagg with a deflection. Proctor's on the floor. Filowich is as well, ripping the ball away. There are 7 players in the corner here, and this jump ball will go to Duke. Good to see John Shire, a little under the weather to shoot around earlier today, but back out there year 3, 27-9 in year 1, 27-9 for Duke in year 2, and an Elite 8 berth a season ago.
There's so much about basketball knowledge that you could talk about, and working with Coach Dave for so long, being a part of this program and the brotherhood therein. But sometimes the surface tells you a lot, and he's just cool, right? Kind of that Steve Kerr, he's going to talk you through things. That may be what is required to connect with players the way you have to connect with them today. You walk alongside players today a little bit more than you coached them before.
Here's a good look for Proctor, set up by Malik Brown, who just came off the bench, and a 3 for Tyrese Proctor, who is 10 for 20 from deep this season.
You get backside action, or backside defenders engaged in ball screen action, and a little miscommunication leaves the best shooter on the floor open.
Corey Tripp misses a 3. Come on, Malowich went to the bench quickly. One of the members of the Duke staff is looking at Malowich's foot, maybe his shoe. But Malowich out of the game early after he left multiple times with cramps in the second half against Kentucky.
I Malawach is okay there. They're looking at something with his shoe or foot. But I actually like this smaller lineup. I really think this was the group that moved the basketball really well. They played with one another well. I think you play off each other. Yeah, sort of. No, do you play together? Do you look at each other and wear your space? Do you understand the tendencies of those around you? I think that's what this smaller group does very well. And they did it very well against Kentucky, particularly in the first half.
That three for Con Knippel, Flag with the assist, and the ball movement much better in the last couple of possessions for Duke, which has some really unselfish players. Brown is one of them. He guards up Tripp, and then Knippel gets absolutely banged at half court. The first foul of the game after back-to-back Duke threes.
So I think this is the group you really have to look at. What do you do with ball screens? Do you switch? I don't really know if you can. You have multiple playmakers. Really, all five on the floor right now are playmakers. They have tremendous length. They could still rebound very well. A lot of strength on the floor physically. This is a dangerous group, right? Every team sort of has their death squad. The Warriors in their heyday really had that one group that they relied on to pick the tempo of the game up and really just change the music. You could come back with Malawach and be different again. I think that really poses challenges for opponents, particularly when you're a Duke team that is as talented as they are.
First turnover of the game for Duke. Wofford has started 1 for 4, missing 3 from deep. Filowich, a really good player, averaging 10, 11, and 4 assists in Wofford's first three. A win over Division II Erskine, and then losses to Lipscomb and Presbyterian on the road. So a slow start for the Terriers. Deep in the clock, here's Flag with an intercept. Caleb Foster bobbles it right into the hands of Dylan Bailey, and Duke turns it back over.
Yeah, that's on Flag more than it's on Foster.
Another missed three. This one short from Tripp as well. You saw the good and the bad from Flag on display there. There's a lot more good for the 17-year-old. Still won't turn 18 until next month. #1 player in the class. Here's a three for Proctor, his second. And Duke's first 3 baskets are all from out there. Tyrese Proctor has 2.
You know, at his age, it's not bad. It's just what it is. It's learning. It's understanding the game. It's learning how to play with one another. It's learning how to win at this level. It's an adjustment that he's got to make.
An early timeout, 9 in a row for Duke. ACC men's basketball is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises. 1,138 game at Cameron Indoor Stadium. It will be the 527th consecutive sellout. Duke has won nearly 85% of its games here. 1 for 17 on
review,
catch and shoot
clock
shots.
stoppage. The clock has been reset to 15:38. The shot clock to 24.
An illegal one. Not a legal clock stoppage.
Anyway,
An illegal.
back to the graphic. That was the worst catch and shoot performance under John Shires. So much better start today, and all 3 baskets have been assisted.
But I think a lot of their catch and shoots, they were standing. You have to create a little rhythm into the shot with movement, right? Following the basketball, moving with the basketball. And you do that early in the game where you create a better rhythm by moving, by kind of playing to the music. You shoot the ball better because you have better rhythm.
Filowich offensive rebound off the Arrington miss. He'll tee up another. Anthony Arrington Jr., the junior from Atlanta, with his 5th three of the year. So Sion James is on the floor for the first time. Grad transfer after starting for 4 years at Tulane. He gets it from Flag. Proctor slashing inside for Malik Brown, who finishes strong.
It's such a tough group. I'm telling you, I love the smaller lineup where Cooper Flag's the biggest guy on the floor, but the thing is, across the board, you've got 6'6", you've got strength.
I laugh when you say smaller lineup.
Yeah, right.
Every scholarship player on the roster is 6'5" or up for Duke.
I say it's versatility, though, and it's really hard to cover if you're an opponent. Like, you don't want to change matchups, but you're almost forced to switch. And every single defender was chasing the play on that last Duke possession.
Flag was all over Jeremy Lorenz. Now Lorenz gets space. Too deep on a three. Here's James up ahead. Lorenz trying to body Flag, who absolutely trucks him. And an easy blocking foul. Jeremy Lorenz, a sophomore, with his 2nd. That's no fun.
No. I would say 10 years ago, they probably call a charge.
Yeah.
You know, back when we loved to call, I love that we're not going to call as many charges. He's still moving. He's not really legal guarding position. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit. Both can be true at the same time. You know, I like nuance.
The game is black and white.
No, it's not.
It should be anyway.
Ooh, good luck with that. They should just change their official jerseys to gray.
That was nuanced. Out of bounds off of Justin Bailey in the face. James Mason Gillis on for the first time, graduate student from Purdue. So all 3 Duke transfers are in. James and Gillis grad transfers. Brown, a junior from Syracuse. We've talked about this. It's not the most talented group of transfers in the country. It may be the best fit in terms of the group of transfers.
It's the transfers you need. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you could go out and get some high quality, high dollar talent, but why when you already have it? That's the thing. Like, you need complementary pieces that understand how to win. Mason Gillis comes from a Purdue program that's had more success than Duke has over the last 4 years. It's not a knock. It's a compliment to the program he was a part of, and that's what you want to absorb. That's a guy that understands all the little things it takes to be good, if not great.
Proctor's got 8. Here's a good look for Sybils. It's way short, and it's picked up by the freshman Luke Flynn.
We had an illegal resetting of the shot clock.
Yes, an illegal reset, exactly. Lee Cassell with A.J. Desai, Justin Porterfield are officials.
Lee Cassell is like a official / male model. Look at the physique and haircut on him. Goodness. Dwight Perry is too.
I don't know, I feel bad for Dwight that you're talking about Lee and then we show up on screen. Dwight's fantastic. Second full season as head coach. All right, shot clock's back down to 3. And Tripp gets to the basket, and the follow-up dunk missed by Bilal El-Shakary.
Yep. Tech, he hung and tried to grab the ball.
So El-Shakary will be dinged with a technical foul for hanging on the rim at the end of this play. A.J. Desai, the official on the far side, called it right there. Sophomore from Alexandria, Egypt, Bilal El-Shakary. And Proctor to the free throw line. Well, we mentioned it off the top. Duke needs more out of Tyrese Proctor. Can they get a little more balance? And John Shire said after the Kentucky game, he's happy with the situations they got Cooper Flagg into. They will, more often than not, take a Cooper Flagg isolation given his skill.
Yes.
But there's the micro versus the macro, right? It's those specific individual possessions versus finding the right balance on this team over 40 minutes.
But I think it's about creating movement and getting the defense to move and chase to create gaps within the defense that Cooper Flagg will learn how to attack. It's when it's telegraphed and you know it's coming, defense is going to dig down and make you think as opposed to just instinctually make a play.
James drives it up top. Malawat's back on the floor and an easy dunk. And you got a 9'8" standing reach. You barely have to lift off the ground to get that.
Some really interesting personnel groupings for Duke. A lot of options for John Shire.
El-Shakary trying to spin his way around Malawatz. Another tough shot rebounded by Flagg, who's got 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal, though he's not scored. Proctor. That pass telegraphed by Gillis and out of bounds despite the great hustle by Justin Bailey.
I mean, there's just guys who know how to play. I mean, here's drive, kick. There's the pump fake on the closeout. Get into the paint, head up, just throw it above the defense. I mean, that's experienced dudes being able to play. And the more Malawatch plays with guys like this who really understand how to play the game, how to win at this level, his improvement is going to be exponential from day one to the end of the season.
And we got lucky to see a lot of Sion James as Flagg missed a 3 the last 4 years at Tulane. If you watch Sion James, if you talk to Ron Hunter, the Tulane coach, as Foster hits a 3, you know Sion James is so valuable as a player, as a person. He won the Sportsmanship Award in the American the last couple of years. He routinely played 40 minutes for a Tulane team that would go about 7 deep. He is such a special kid to add to this roster, this program.
Which, let's be clear, sometimes the Sportsmanship Award goes to the dude where you just want to award. It's miscongeniality, right? That ain't the case here. He's a player, and he's a contributor. He's just that good of a dude.
Filowicz trying to get around Malawatch, makes everything difficult. Rebound down to Gillis. 2 more misses for Wofford, which starts 2 for 14. Flagg sets up James, creates space, and his 3 is grabbed by Malawatch, but there'll be a push off before the action. Come on, Malowacz with a first Duke foul.
Duke is doing a really good job getting the defense, chasing the play. When you chase the play and shots goes up, that means Wofford's not in position to get offensive rebounds. You attack, swing open three. Duke playing today with great balance, great floor spacing, great balance on the floor. All the abilities are starting to be shown in terms of the talent, the understanding of how to play, how to move the basketball. When you put all those things together, you see statistics like this: 6 assists by 5 different players for Duke. Everybody's getting into the action. The game is that much easier. Shots are starting to fall. Why? They're rhythm jumpers. You make a higher percentage of shots when there's rhythm in the shot. I promise you that.
5 different players with an assist, 6 on 7 field goals. Flagg is the only one with 2. He's on the bench for the first time. He's got 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Nice backed up by Tripp, and that ball finds its way in. Might have been touched by Malowacz on the way. Corey Tripp, 12.3 per game leading scorer for Wofford. Terriers 3 for 15 early. Here's Malowacz on the roll and finish from Knipple. Another assist by another player. So Knipple's first assist makes it 7 assists by 6 different doubles.
I just see so much of Mark Williams in Malowacz early. I just think he doesn't have to do that much. Layups and dunks, contest shots, and you will be incredibly impactful for this Blue Devil team.
Gotten some good looks from 3, Wofford. There's not hitting. Bailey can't connect on an open one. Wofford's 1 for 10. Knipple went into the table. He gets up late. Got up quickly enough to want the ball on the other wing. Todd Knipple, who has opened eyes early in the season, sets up James for 3. Everything going for Duke. 5 for 9 from deep. Knipple with consecutive assists, and Sion James joins the score sheet. Bilowich for Tripp.
Duke has gotten caught in a couple switch situations. I need to see better communication on the switch and the slip screens that Wofford's been able to deploy and get open shots. They just haven't gotten the shots to fall.
And Duke has 1 for 11 for 3 on one side, 5 for 9 on the other. 15-2 Blue Devil run. James got tripped up into Malowacz, and Malowacz takes a hit and still finishes.
Malowacz has been terrific because he hasn't had to do that much, right? He's been an active screener. He's been good on the roll. But part of that comes from actually getting the ball when you're open. The Duke guards, which is really any 4 that isn't Malowacz, has been able to make the right play, throw over the top. Malowacz trusting that if he gets to the right spot, he's going to get the ball. It's been a good performance to start for Malowacz. And he hasn't really had to do too much, right? And I think that's where bigs are at their best, right? Simplify it, make it easier for everybody else. You're going to get easy buckets.
Sion James makes it 9 assists on 10 makes. And Malowacz has been playing basketball for around 5 years. Completes a 3-point play. He'll leave it. A nice ovation now for Patrick Gungba II, who makes his Duke debut.
What an applause for just checking into the game.
No kidding.
God bless this place.
Gungba, the number 19 player in the class, according to ESPN, another 5-star. A roster that's chock full of them. Tie up to Wofford here. Patrick Gungba missed the first couple of games. He was injured last season. He had a foot injury early in the year, but great basketball background. Both of his parents played at George Washington. His mom was the all-time leading scorer at GW with over 2,100 points. And he's become a little bit forgotten because of the Flagg, Knipple, Malowacz trio. But there's Isaiah Evans, who's a 5-star. Yep. Darren Harris, a good shooter. Probably see them in the game today. And then Gungba, a really athletic big. It's just an absurd amount of young depth for Duke.
Well, it's
and
hard.
Then the old guys to come off the bench to spend.
It's hard because when you come to Duke, you come to North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, wherever it is, as a 5-star guy, the expectation is pretty high.
Another good look off a screen deep in the shot clock. Lorenz misses a 3. And
yeah,
foul against Wofford.
Now, my point is, when you come in here, the expectation, particularly that of the external nature, right? Everybody around you expects you to start, be a star, and basically this becomes the beginning of your long-time NBA career. It doesn't always work that way. And sometimes players are better because of that. They develop good habits. They learn how to be held accountable. They learn how to be contributors before they ever become stars. I think those things are important. Just you have to be able to put a value on that when everything outside is telling you, go make money.
Flag. Delicious dish to Gumba, his first Duke bucket. Freshman to freshman connection.
How about that 4-5 two-man game? Good luck with that.
How about the 4-5 two-man game Duke could have had with about 6 different combinations of 4s and 5s? I mean, personnel-wise, is it too early to say personnel-wise this is going to be the most talented group in the country this year? Maybe it's early, but there's just a real maturity. There's a pace to these freshmen, particularly with Flag. Knipple looks like he's been playing for 30 years.
But I think the general manager did a good job of assembling the right talent, and then the right pieces around that talent with Gillis and Sion James and Brown. That's the biggest part of this. Otherwise, what good is it to have talent?
Off the missed 3 by Bailey, a foul against Anthony Arrington Jr. It's week 12 in the ACC Network football world. 3:30 Eastern today, number 19 Louisville visits Stanford, and then primetime game UNC and Wake Forest. Heels try to get bowl eligible. Demon Deacons try to get to win number 5. Both games available on the ESPN app. You can stream anywhere.
That North Carolina game was why it was hard for you to find a hotel down there.
That's right. Maybe I had to switch hotels last night due to an internet situation. I won't name names.
First world problems, Kev.
Right, no kidding. Cooper Flag yet to score, and Duke's up by 22. He'll try it here. In and out for 3.
Yeah, but the thing is, his scoring is going to come easier if everybody else is involved. And right now, everyone's involved.
And he never looks like he has to score.
No, he just will.
Not a guy who's forcing the issue, which makes him such an interesting #1 overall prospect. Usually your #1 prospect out of high school scored 46 a game. Knipple all over the ball right now. Sivils gets it out to Bailey. Another open look for 3. It's just not going. Wofford is 1 for 15 from out there. They shoot a lot of 3s. They put up 51 in their opening game of the season. Caleb Foster puts up a 2. It's 31-7. Second basket for him.
Just to go back to the Cooper Flag down the stretch, one thing I want to say, first off, he wanted to take those shots. That's a good thing. Did he force the issue a little bit? Yes. Is it going to be a great learning experience? Absolutely. But the fact that he wanted the ball in that situation is one of the most important things.
Flag patiently steps in to score his first points. Duke has scored the last 14, and when we come back, the nation's top freshman can make it 15 at the line.
Oh, look, he is that good, and when he gets out in the open floor with his length, his poise, that sit-down, good footwork, games gets easier. Great job by John Shire to create opportunities and activity that allows Cooper Flag to create scoring plays. Doesn't mean he's going to score. Here's the dribble handoff and the rescreen. The rescreen with a 4 and a 5 man breaks down your defensive principles. The 4 and the 5 man don't know what to do. They don't really prepare to cover a 4 and 5 two-man game type of action. The miscommunication leads to a nice playmaking opportunity for Cooper Flag. He makes the right decision, the dump down, easy layup. That's basketball that is really difficult to defend because typically you practice with a big defending the ball screen and a guard defending the ball. You hedge, you play that flat. There are a million different ways. You can trap it, but when the 4 and 5 are involved, it breaks down your principles.
And they got Flag very involved at the end of the game against Kentucky. Scored 12 of the last 14. The rest of the team only had 2 field goal attempts, though, in the last 5 minutes, as James has another Duke takeaway. Setting up Proctor, and the rebound down to Wofford. Take me through those last 5 minutes, what you saw against Kentucky and Duke's actions.
Well, it was kind of the standing and hope he makes a play, but when they run good action and get the defense chasing the play, scoring opportunities are presented, and it allows you to play more of a read and react style out of those options, out of that action. every action creates options. Every action creates counters to anything you as a defender take away. The key is training your players well enough to instinctually recognize the counter. And sometimes I've seen guys script counters based on what they've seen a defense do. It's best if you get to a point where they learn how to do it instinctually. And sometimes learning is a part of it. Failure is a part of learning. And I think that's something they learn a lot from.
Bilowitz trying to go into Brown, and it's up 2-0. Malik Brown with a rebound for Duke. Isaiah Evans has checked in the game. 6'6" freshman from Fayetteville is in the right corner with Gillis, Brown, James, and the only starter on the floor is the freshman Flagg, who scored his first 3 points a couple of possessions ago. Flagg finding Gillis, and the long rebound down to Lorenz. Wofford 3 for 21 from the field. 15 of those 21 attempts have been from 3. They've hit 1. They haven't attempted a free throw. Here's another open look, and it's just not going right now.
I also think Cooper Flagg has to be deliberate in his attack, right? If it takes you more than 2 or 3 seconds, give it up and get it back, right? Especially initially. Over time, you start to learn how to move the game and move the defense just with your presence alone. That's not something he knows how to do yet. I would say if you make a deliberate attack and it doesn't work, get the ball moving. You're going to get it back. But again, it's just stuff that happens over time. He's got to learn how the game gets easier when he doesn't have it move it. The game will get easier for him. He'll score more by doing less.
Isaiah Evans 1-1. That was the 7th team foul against Wofford. Stabbers, have you heard this before? He's a 5-star freshman. And Evans will get the second free throw. Live from Chapel Hill today, it's the ACC Huddle. North Carolina Wake Forest, told you about the game at 8 o'clock tonight. So Taylor Tannenbaum and the gang will have a pregame show at 2 o'clock, 90 minutes, leading to Louisville Stanford at 3:30. Back after the game for highlights analysis and get you set for the primetime game. Then a post-game wrap-up. It's all day, all right here on ACC Network on another football Saturday.
I think a little fool's gold with the score because Wofford has gotten good looks. And good teams are going to make more of those shots. Communication at times with the switch, the slip screens, hasn't been there. That's something Duke's going to have to improve upon. They want to beat high-level competition. It's travel.
Trip not called for it. That basket will make it now a 27-4 run. And John Shire screaming at Justin Porterfield. He keeps looking back at John Shire. Justin looks like he's about ready to whistle John Shire for a technical. Duke's coach keeps it up. James inside, smothered. That's Lorenz, who already had 2 fouls and a half. A 6'8" sophomore, 10-point per game score. Looks like he's going to pick up his third.
I wish officials could just go, yeah, I probably missed it. Or, yeah, maybe he did. I thought he did.
Looks like 3 to me.
It just looks like a travel.
If it looks like a travel and smells like a travel.
What's a travel smell like?
That. Jeremy Lorenz with his third. Sion James hits the first free throw.
I love the official my bad. My bad. Like, you can't really get mad at it. It's like, hey, I didn't see it. My bad. We let a lot of travels go, though. You watch the ball around the perimeter move and you watch guys catch and then step into it. I used to be more get off my lawn guy and say, come on, call that. Now it's just kind of like,
You've softened in your advanced stage?
I have softened. Yes. Advanced stage, sure. Good rotation.
That ball hit the baseline on the pass to Sybil's. Wofford turns it over for the 6th time. That's 6 turnovers, 4 made field goals so far for the Terriers.
You know, it's little things, though. It's taking that baseline away and then trusting that Evans, who just entered the game not long ago, is going to recognize it and get down to take that open 3 away. He did just that. Good talk. A lot of pointing. Got to be active hands just as much as you're active with your mouth.
There's Evans. There's another 3. There's another assist set up by Proctor. And Isaiah Evans with a quick 5 off the bench. 41-9.
He glides on the floor, too. Sometimes the way a guy moves tells you a lot about his potential. He's a glider.
Top-ranked high school player out of this state of North Carolina from Fayetteville this year. Another miss inside by Jackson Sybil's. Here comes Knipple. Gillis, the only Duke player who's played yet to score. 9 of the 10 have a point for Duke. On the roll, Malowacz finishes again. Come on, Malowacz with 9. Konkanippel's got 3 assists. And Duke is unstoppable. 24-2, Blue Devil run.
I can't.
What's more impressive than handling an instrument in the marching band? Handling it while you're on your cell phone as well.
I think they're live streaming.
Instagram Live in the pep band.
There's a market for everything, Kevin.
You could just come to Cameron and just look at the faces.
I did. I sat outside. It was great
gosh.
people watching. It was Disney World level people watching because these people dress up like it's Halloween too. It's awesome.
A noon Saturday, a football Saturday against Wofford. It's as electric as just about ever down in the student section. Finally, Wofford gets a 3 to go. Jackson Sibbles. Terriers had been 1 for 16 from deep.
See, that's the thing. When you watch tape, those are things you really want to clean up. You got to say, look, we're getting what we want offensively. Great ball movement. This is beautiful basketball.
4 players touch the ball in about 2.5 seconds. It ends in a 3 for Proctor, who's got a dozen.
But again, that being said, to achieve at the level this Duke program expects to and should achieve, guarding the three-point line is going to be an issue. I think that's been a challenge. Communication defensively, not chasing the play too much. I mean, these are good-looking shots, and they just haven't gotten them to go.
Dylan Bailey's 0 for 6 on threes. Here's Evans, who had the last assist. He's the 8th Duke player with an assist. His step-back 3 is tipped out by Gungba. Proctor, Gillis, and Gillis still yet to score. Tipped by Gungba again. Here's Evans, another good look. Destined to go down eventually for Duke. Patrick Gungba in his Duke debut with a couple of tapbacks, and it leads to a 3 for the fabulous shooting freshman Evans.
Gungba doing a good job of just engaging with the defender who's trying to block out. If you put pressure on him, you're able to get your hands up and keep it alive. I just think all the action's been really good. It has been three-point shooting and rolls to the basket. Really difficult to defend when you have the versatility that Duke has. Also have good, selfless passers. If they can figure out how to be aggressive when they need to be aggressive and then perfectly selfless when they need to share the basketball, this is a dangerous team.
Hope you enjoyed that Duke 5-man lineup because they all just left. Foster, Flagg, James, Harris, and Brown. Darren Harris, the freshman from Herndon, Virginia, getting his first run. He's the 6th freshman in the game for Duke.
It's also nice to get some guys run with the core guys that are playing. I think you see a lot of guys play late when it's a blowout, and you put 5 guys out there who rarely are ever going to play together, yet you want to get a sense of who can contribute. Who can I trust to throw in the game at any given point, and at what situation do I want to play them? Whether it's defensively, whether it's what they can bring to the table on the offensive side, even if it's just an energy. Sometimes energy guys are as important as anything else. You know, you got a low energy game. It's December 22nd. I need somebody that can come out and just lift this team for a hot minute. That's how you learn this, but you don't really learn as much when you put them all together, all together with 2 minutes left to play, up 60.
We had another shot clock issue. It's back
illegal
to 15. Illegal indeed. Under 2 to play in the first half. That has been Duke dominated. And another takeaway. Caleb Foster right in the passing lane. Foster, no. Brown overshot it. Flagg kicks it for Harris. Right into the game. Missed a 3, but Malik Brown with great offensive rebounding position. Syracuse fans saw a lot of that in the last couple of years from Brown, who does everything well, except, as Chris Carrawell told us before the game, look at the basket. He said he's so unselfish, he just won't look at the basket on offense when he has an easy shot sometimes. Foster over-dribbled it, and a takeaway for Tripp and Wofford. You know, it was great, the towel guys.
I was going to say,
they get on the floor
the
quickly
dedication
behind the play.
And the attention to detail of the floor moppers, and they're doing it by hand. This isn't a Libman, stick towel. These guys get out there, hands and knees, wiping it up with determination. I'm sure they should live stream that too. That's a market for it.
The Brotherhood of Towel Wipers. Flagg, 3 points and a half. Long 2 is good.
And he creates a little rhythm with that dribble, and he's a really good one-on-one basketball player.
Duke will take the use it or lose it timeout. Cooper Flagg doing it all in this first half. Chris Carwell said earlier this year Cooper Flagg could be the best player on the floor and only score 6 points. He has just 5 today, but he's got 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. All in a day's work for the #1 freshman of the class.
But he's got that gravity, though, right? Just his presence on the floor brings attention. And it's not just the attention of his own defender, it's the attention of everybody else around him. And we also live in a day where everybody switches everything. And if you figure out how to counter switches, Cooper Flagg could dominate in college basketball by the end of the season.
That might have been a travel as well, but Filowich instead will step in to score. Senior from Winnipeg, Kyler Filowich, preseason all-conference in the SoCon. Wofford picked to finish 4th in the Southern Conference. Last year, 10-8 in the league, were tied for 5th. 17 and 15 overall. Better days certainly ahead for an experienced Terrier team.
They're also going to make a lot more of the open threes that they've gotten, and I think if they get them in the second half, you're going to see more fall.
There's Flagg. He turns it over for the second time, and then Flagg, with a whole bunch of fouls to give for Duke, steps in with 4 seconds to go, commits his first.
See, but that's an example of just he's going to grow a lot. Like just moving a little too fast, not really seeing how the defense is staying with him. He just dribbled into traffic.
Duke's only committed 3 fouls and a half. Bailey blocked by Brown. He gets his hands on everything.
I think this is a half where you really see the offensive firepower and potential of Duke, the versatility on offense, and then the ability to get you spaced out and get open shots and then offensive rebounds.
The half will end appropriately with a missed Wofford 3. They were 2 for 21 from 3 in the first half, and the Blue Devils allow their fewest points and a half in 3 seasons. They score 51, 18 made baskets, 14 assists. They wanted to see if Duke would be unselfish, if Duke would have good ball movement after the loss to Kentucky. They've been brilliant so far. Up 37 at the half on this Saturday here at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Welcome into this ACC Network Halftime Report. Hope you enjoyed the first half. Alongside Coach Seth Greenberg, I'm Justin Walters. Coach, we got some newbies in the conference, SMU, Cal, and Stanford. Let's start off with the Mustangs. What's impressed you so far from them?
Pony up for the Mustangs. You're talking about a team that's #1 in average length of possession. They're averaging 93 points a game, and they're 29th in the country in Division I experience. What they do is they play with incredible spacing, NBA spacing. They attack you in transition and want to get the ball to the offensive area in 2 seconds. And they got good players. B.J. Edwards, a terrific two-way player. He's a holdover. But Boopy Miller, who transferred from Wake Forest, he is a dynamic guard, averaging over 20 points a game. He gets in the lane. You see the speed that they play at. They are freed up offensively to get downhill and make plays, and they got a big. And he's not there yet, but Schmet Yiga Tulu, 7'1" player. He can protect the rim, really skilled and make shots. SMU is legit. They're going to be a hard out because of style of play. If you can impose your style of play on your opponent, that's the key to the upset. I think SMU will be a tough out in the ACC.
Looking good so far. Pony up. I love what you said. Let's shift over to the Cardinal. What do you like from Stanford so far?
First and foremost, Kyle Smith. He's a program builder. And one thing is about his teams is they take care of the basketball, they get a good shot, they defend with a purpose, and they've got a player to play through. Maxine Renault. He might be the best low post player in the ACC. 7'1", can catch it, finish over either shoulder. He can also protect the rim. He's a very good rebounder on both ends of the floor. He's a guy that can be the anchor of this program. Then Jalen Blake's a former ACC point guard, former Duke point guard, can really pressure the basketball, an excellent leader. They've got a toughness about him, but more importantly, Kyle Smith puts his system in, and he recruits players to his system. He inherited some players that fit what he wants to do. This is a Stanford team. When people have to make that West Coast swing, all right, they've got a lot to deal with. Stanford will not beat themselves. They'll take care of the basketball, they'll get a good shot, they'll keep you in front, and they'll force you to shoot a contested shot. Stanford, another team that will make a fairly seamless transition into the ACC.
Coach, with so many teams now playing 5 out, it's rare that you have a guy like Maxine. What makes his skill set so unique?
Well, he's 7'1", he's got good hands, he can run and he can finish. I mean, like you're talking about, here's a guy, 7'1", you see he can catch a face and put it on the ground. You can put him in either block and he can score. He can play off of penetration, and there's Jalen Blake's ability. His experience is so valuable. But, you know, right there, Rigneault, you can put him on the block, play through him. If you double, they can make the extra pass, and his versatility to stretch the defense. If you've got a big that can step away, all of a sudden now that opens up the floor for other players to use their quickness to get in the lane, like Sellers to get in the lane and make a play. Kyle Smith's teams are always really well coached. He did it at Columbia, he did it at USF, he did it at a very high level at Washington State, and he will have great success at Stanford.
When you throw in Cal into the mix, we have the trifecta. But of that group, Cal, SMU, and Stanford, who do you think has the best finish in the ACC?
You know, probably Stanford. I think part of the reason because of the West Coast trip, part of the reason because Renault is so unique, part of the reason is because they have a substance about them. Renault is different. But SMU is right there because of style of play. The art of the upset, you've got to impose your style of play on your opponent. And SMU, because of the speed they play with, because of the spacing they play with, because of the number of threes they potentially can shoot off of that spacing, they will pull off some major upsets in the ACC this year.
There's only one place to hear about all of those teams every day and throughout the week. That'd be ACC PM, weekdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. Mark Packer and a cast of characters talking about SMU, Stanford, and Cal, as well as all the other great teams in this conference. The second half begins your way shortly.
It's been a runaway for Duke in the first half. 51 points, 18 for 31 for the field, 14 assists. This Blue Devil team has showcased its depth and dominance. We'll have highlights and get you ready for the second half when we return to Durham. Duke has been doing just fine in this first half. 51-14. The Blue Devils rolling past the Wofford Terriers after 20 minutes. Kevin Brown, John Crispin. Look, we're greedy sometimes as basketball fans. Yes. We see all this talent with Duke, but as basketball fans, you want more than just talent. We want style, we want rhythm, we want flow. Yep. If you're a neutral observer, you want what Duke's given you in this first half.
It's been really good, and a lot of that's come from a lot of misses from Wofford. I do think some of those shots are going to start to fall, but Duke has been able to get out and run with numbers, keep Wofford chasing the play. When you get a defense chasing the play, particularly with the versatility of the playmakers that they have, you just use good ball movement to create better looks. Duke has been able to do that. They've moved the basketball very well. They've gotten great rhythm threes. Look at the extra pass, best pass, whatever you want to call it. But that leads to things like a short roll or a roll to the basket. This offense has really been defined by good ball movement, making open threes, and then capitalizing on the defense that space by rolling hard to the basket and getting layups and open threes.
11 Duke players have played, 9 have scored, 8 have an assist. Tyrese Proctor's got a dozen points to lead the way. The bench has contributed in a big way for the Blue Devils. Largest halftime lead for the Devils by a lot in John Shire's 3 years at 37, their largest overall since November 12, 2019 against Central Arkansas, a game Duke won by 51. Cooper Flagg, most highly touted prospect in at least a few years. 5 points in the first half, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple of steals. Kaman Malawach, fabulous freshman, had 9. Con Knipple only took 1 shot, had 4 rebounds and 3 assists. He made the 1 shot he took. And chance to see Patrick Kungba, Isaiah Evans, Darren Harris. These freshmen who, for most other schools, would constitute an all-time recruiting class, who are the 4, 5, and 6 guys. They'll probably get some more good run in the second half for Duke as Flagg begins the half, feeding Malawach out to Proctor, creating space and missing a 3. And then a travel. Malawach got in the way, but apparently didn't do enough physically for the foul. Filowich falls on the deck, and Wofford turns it over for the 8th time.
You know what goes somewhat unnoticed is Malawach and the presence of mind to make the right pass out. Defense collapsed on him. He really didn't have it, nor did he have his footing, and he kicks it out to a wide open shooter.
Foster, and he was pushed out of bounds, looking for Malawach. Come on, Malawach, been playing basketball about 4 or 5 years. We hear that a lot now with players from Africa, Malawach from the South Sudan. See a lot of these players in college basketball, taller players who are very raw, still learning the game. He is pretty polished for being the 5th youngest guy in college basketball. It's somebody, again, with very little basketball experience.
He doesn't try to overdo it. I mean, simplify the game, and it comes easy.
Flag to Foster for 3. 4th assist for Cooper Flagg, and Caleb Foster with his second 3.
Cooper Flagg could be the best playmaker on the floor because typically he's got to be covered by some size. Otherwise, he's going to live in the post, and he's going to be able to win that battle more often than not. And again, talk about the three-point shots. Wofford's gotten good looks. If they get some to go, John Shire and Duke, they're going to have a lot to look at defensively, but they've got to clean up.
Even up 37, John Shire threw his hands up there. And then Caleb Foster threw the ball up. 5 baskets for Malawach, and they've come from about a combined 2 feet from the rim.
Well, it's just hard to cover when you have such good shooters around the perimeter. You're not going to dig down. The backside's not there to take the roll away, so you got to correct how you're covering the ball screen. Probably do so with more physicality.
Malawach has 11 in 9 minutes. 39 a game high lead for Duke. Tripp left it way short. Here comes Foster. He's got Knipple on one wing, Proctor leaking behind on the other. Foster, Flagg, Knipple, hot potato, and then Malawach crashes the glass. Knipple will lose change, couldn't finish. Phillips just dribbled it off himself. He has had a really tough time. He's a guy who had double-doubles his first 2 games of the year, one of the strongest players in the Southern Conference, but he has been overwhelmed by the task at hand.
It's really hard, too, because you put the ball on the deck, you see wide open space, but the whole time your head's saying, don't get blocked, don't get blocked, don't get blocked. Like, Malawach has that impact, and again, like I said, Mark Williams did a few years back.
Knipple 3, set up once again by Cooper Flagg.
Much of what they're getting is coming from playmaking. You use good offensive action, maybe a set, to put your players in a position to make a play. That's really it. Rarely do we run a play to score anymore. If anything, that's just bad defense.
Flagg with a late recovery and the rejection on Bailey. Ahead for Foster. He is blocked and fouled by Tripp. There's been a real effortlessness to the start of this second half from Cooper Flagg.
He's just playing ball. I think that's what you want him to do more often. Just play ball at this level. Make plays. Read the game. That's just terrific basketball. Saw where the defense went in front of him. Knew where the defender was behind him. He knew who was going to be open. Knipple got to the open spot, and then the defense. If you stay close enough, gap with your length, Cooper Flagg's going to be able to defend anybody in college basketball, so long as he learns how to utilize his length and avoid fouling.
Out of Newport, Maine, tiny town of a little over 3,000. Went to Montverde Academy, which is the top high school program in the nation. And the real eye-opener for Flagg this summer, playing with the USA Select team at age 17. He was the first collegiate player on that team since 2013. And scouts said there were times where, against NBA guys, he was the best player on the floor for pockets.
The college game is going to be a little different, and I do think it requires a bit of an adjustment for Cooper Flagg. It doesn't mean it's easier or harder. It's just different.
What's different about it?
There's better spacing in the NBA game, right? By nature, there's better spacing because of the rules of the game. So there's more space. The paint is often open, typically always open. It's also individual. So if you have a matchup and you can make shots and you're a good one-on-one player, you can float a little bit more. You know how to attack space. It's just different. Doesn't mean it's easier. But when you get shots to fall and you're a good one-on-one basketball player, you become really difficult to cover. I don't care whether you're 17 or 37.
Shot clock violation there forced by Duke, which has stretched a 37-point halftime lead to 44 and a 10-3 start to the half.
I also think less structure, right? Structure for a lot of guys is something you have to adjust to. You have to adjust to what feels like the rigidity of structure. And then you have to find ways to play freely within an established structure. So I think that's part of the adjustment. You're learning a lot of things. There are foundational principles that you have to achieve here if you want to play basketball for Duke. And those are all things that may inhibit you up front, but they'll make you better in the end.
Brown hands it once again. There's a foul at the midcourt logo. Filowich very excited. Look at all the towel guys. 4 of them converge
Look at
from
them.
different ends.
They are on it. And they got some feet on it, too. You know, that's the key. We used to say, just get some feet on it. You just use your shoes. If there's no squeak, then there's still too much.
We may have to double
moisture
box
on
the
the floor.
towel guys for the remainder of this game.
Look at them.
It's like the ball attendants in tennis. You don't even notice they're there. They sprint across the net so quickly.
I hope they have to qualify. I'm sure there's a backstory.
Here, I'm sure there is.
Like, you got to run a 5-second 40.
Probably.
Right.
Who's doing the cone drills at 6 in the morning? Oh, it's just the towel guys.
Oh, the voice in my ear told me there are tryouts. Where's that in the game notes?
You only prepare for games by rigging the game notes, obviously. So
Yes, that's it. It wasn't, they didn't show the towel guys on Synergy when I was breaking down plays.
There should be synergy for towel guys. Filowich knocks the ball to Arrington, the offensive rebound. Wofford keeps the possession alive. Every fumble, every loose ball, Duke players are all over it. Proctor nearly knocked it out of bounds. Down to 6 to shoot. Here's Bailey, who's had a tough night shooting, missed another. Flag high flying, and it's on the deck. And there's a tie-up, and it'll go to Duke.
Frankly, someone needed to just punt the ball out of bounds after that possession.
Take your time on this one, towel guys. You got a couple of minutes to clean up that spot.
Get it.
Maybe the biggest matchup of the year in women's volleyball. #1 Pitt and #3 Louisville, the #1 seed in the nation in the ACC title, are on the line Wednesday night, 7 Eastern. Actually, 2 Wednesdays from this week. 11 days away. It's so big we're promoting it now on ACC Network. The ACC with 4 of the top 10 volleyball teams absolutely loaded this year.
You and I talk a lot about softball. My favorite spring sport to watch. Women's volleyball is up there. The rallies. I like that they went to the rally score. It's just fun. Obviously, I went to Penn State. Tremendous volleyball program, and they were incredibly successful when I was there. So much fun to watch, but it's one of the, I think the more you get into it, the more you understand, the more you appreciate.
Gillis gets a good look from Kneppel. Mason Gillis is the 10th Duke player to score, as the grad transfer from Purdue knocks down a 3, and the lead is 47, matching the 3-point percentage from Gillis's last season at Purdue.
I think offensively, if you're Duke, what can we do to create a space and chase situation, right? We're spaced, you're chasing. If Duke can create situations where the defense has to chase and cover a lot of space, Duke will win against anybody in the country. They have the personnel to do so.
1 to shoot. Air ball from Tripp, and another shot clock violation.
I would lose my mind as a coach if I got the rebound and there was a shot clock violation, and my energy and pace, obviously, on the defensive end kind of put a little something on the game, and then you blow the whistle just because the shot clock went off. If you get clear possession, just let it play. The game's so much more fun when you don't stop it.
It should be like playing the advantage in soccer.
I agree. Like, oh, wow, good find.
Flag from James, no good on a 3.
But it was like you took the roll away because the backside came in, so you took the roll away for the first time all night, and then you give up an open 3.
Bailey trying to get around Flag. Brown comes to help. In the corner, here's a good look for 3. Another one missed. That was Arrington Jr. It'll stay with Wofford.
I mean, there are always, like I said, there are counters, right? There are always options within action. So the roll is obviously a great option. The shot off of a ball screen or the drive off of a ball screen is a good option. But the roll's there. The second you take the roll away, there's another option. And Duke did a good job of recognizing it and find it.
There's Flag, Gillis, Kneppel. And it's not even an easy rebound. Look at Malik Brown. Oh, he goes charging into Arrington for a foul.
Well, Flag had no idea the ball was right behind him. was like the horror movie where the people watching are yelling at the person that the guy's behind him. You know, does that make any sense?
Yes, exactly.
It does, okay.
Malik Brown
Like the crowd's like, it's right there.
Malik Brown
Flag's
is
just running
Jason
away.
Voorhees in this analogy.
Well, no, Cooper Flagg was the person that was unaware that
Yeah, I know.
Freddie was right behind him.
Right.
I don't know, pick a guy.
I picked Jason Voorhees. Friday the 13th.
I didn't really know he had a last name.
Clearly, you're not well versed in Friday the 13th lore.
Well, I'm just scared easily.
Do you know Freddie's last name?
Mercury.
Very good. Knocked away by Brown again. Led the ACC in steals a year ago.
Love it.
Syracuse, Gillis, Flag in for the offensive rebound. Wofford just cannot get a clean rebound in this game. Duke is sending players to the glass all over. Brown inside for James. It is relentless.
Here's why I like that. It's not a great shot. I get that. But why I like it is it puts such a pressure on the defense when you're willing to take that first open shot. But also the defense isn't set. You've got offensive rebound after offensive rebound. So the defense isn't set and the shot goes up. The chances of Duke getting that rebound are high.
Duke has taken 41 shots. Wofford has only picked up 11 defensive rebounds. 22 makes, 8 offensive rebounds for Duke. Slapped off the glass to Tripp. Bailey again. He's 0 for 9 from 3. He's 0 for 10. My gosh. And how many of those 10 were wide open? James gets stripped. Nice hands there. Justin Bailey, the only transfer into this year's team. Tripp is set up for 3. Corey Tripp, the senior from Medina, Ohio, has got 10 of Wofford's 20. Leads us to a timeout. 66-20 in Durham. Special day for Dwight Perry, who is a Durham, North Carolina native, went to Southern High School about 15 minutes away from here. He told us that the city of Durham molded me. He came here to Cameron for high school graduations, playing games here. Even though he grew up a UNC fan, he then went to play at Kentucky and then went to coach under Johnny Dawkins at Stanford. Johnny Dawkins, one of the Duke greats. So Dwight Perry has such an appreciation for the programs at the high end, the special tradition of this sport, and a particular tradition and love for this city that really made it.
Yeah, I was going to say that the talk about Durham was interesting because one of the things I brought up was going back 20 years, 30 years, now 40 years, and you look at the impact that Coach K has had almost directly or indirectly on the city of Durham alone. I mean, I came here as a kid, and it isn't like it is today. So yes, it's the school, but all within the tenure of Coach K, the impact to some people is really remarkable, to the point where it's so good and so big that you can't put a dollar amount on it. It's like economic impact, right?
Yep.
Take Coach K and what became this Duke program away from the city of Durham, and what is it like? I mean, the impact is vast.
That's the term that every owner uses to try to
yes, economic
funding
impact
for new
yes.
stadium. Here at Duke, it happened. It happened sort of organically, the way this program's grown. Proctor from Malawach. Tyrese Proctor's got 15, and that's his 4-3.
It's good reading. It's just a read. You're reading where the other guy's defender is. He was in a help position. Proctor cleared, got to the three-point line, got himself set. He's able to catch in rhythm and make an open 3. I mean, it's just been good basketball.
Harris, Evans, Gungber on the floor right now. There's Gungber with a takeaway. Should say it was Gungba with the assist last time in his college debut. That's his first assist. He's got 4 rebounds, 3 offensive, and a basket off the bench.
He's been good. He's been poised. Even on those roll situations where you're big and you get put in a bad spot, that's a great find. That's big time.
Didn't get the assist there, but set up Harris for a terrific look.
Who cares? He made the right play. That's the key, is he made the right play.
It's an SBA. It's a should-have-been assist.
Sure. It's a new one for
How about
me.
those eyes on Tyrese Proctor in this traffic? Wow.
You can't help. I mean, this is just going to be the challenge. You can't help Proctor catch and shoot. Much better today.
Special day for Patrick Gungba, number 19 overall prospect in the class of 2024. One of 6 freshmen for Duke. It's his college debut. He's made a big impact with 4 rebounds, some really nice passing, including an assist and a couple of points in 6 minutes. Cooper Flagg's back on the floor with him. Flagg face-up jumper is too strong. It's 69-20 Duke, holding Wofford to 20% shooting from the field. Blue Devils are shooting 53%. They were always the favorite. It was always going to take a miracle for Duke to lose this game, but the way they've responded stylistically, John, the Kentucky game, impressive in the way they've played and the way they moved the ball.
Yeah, I think the way they're sharing it, the way they're spacing, the way they're trusting to play with one another, I mean, that's ultimately what's going to allow them to achieve at the level they expect to achieve. It's also going to be what allows individuals to achieve at the level they expect to achieve. Like Cooper Flagg's not going to be able to have the greatest season all by himself. I mean, you've got to create space and action around you. Good find.
Evans from Harris for 3. That hit the shot clock.
But even that last possession, not this one, but the prior possession, where Cooper Flagg gets it in an ISO situation, turns and faces, has a matchup, takes the shot. It's a missed shot, but I like it. It was deliberate. It wasn't dribble, 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 try to make a play. It was just deliberate. I got the best shot, might as well take it. Also puts a pace on the game that will favor Duke for 40 minutes. I mean, you're also seeing the depth, right? You're seeing depth in Duke.
And Cooper Flagg is 2 for 7, 0 for 4 from 3 for 5 points, and they're up by 49. And Flagg pokes that ball away, and he knows he's not going to track it down. If you are turning into a Duke game just to see, oh, what's Cooper Flagg going to do? I've heard about Cooper Flagg for a couple of years. I've heard about this super hype guy. Is he going to score 35? It's probably not going to happen a lot. He's just a different type of #1 prospect. Usually the guy with that hype is a Zion Williamson, and R.J. Barrett, and Anthony Davis that comes to college expected to be a 30-point per game scorer. Cooper is something different, but you can appreciate him in different ways.
Look, I think simple is best for Cooper Flagg. I mean, his potential is going to be off the charts. Whether he can do everything the way everybody expects him to do it, like 25, 30 a game, doesn't really work that way. His best game might be 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. I think he can be a triple-double guy.
Yeah, and he may not be their leading scorer in the season the way Con Knipple started the year. Certainly Duke's going to have a lot of different leading scorers in a lot of different games this year.
I think over time, if Tyrese Proctor is your leading scorer, it might be the best thing for Duke because that means he's getting good shots. He's not in a position where he's going to create a ton for himself. But if he's your leading scorer, that almost points to a balance on the floor where everybody's involved, the floor is spaced really well, and he's getting good looks.
And right on cue, Proctor got a look from Flagg, too deep on the 3. Duke's gone just 4 for 13 from 3 in the second half, 12 for 31 in the game. Wofford, meanwhile, 4 for 28 from 3. They have nearly as many shot clock violations as made 3-pointers.
It's almost like there have been a lot of great players where they go, he scores 24 a game, and my thought is, at what cost?
Yeah. Filowich bullying his way into Brown, and Filowich gets the roll. Chance for 3 for Kyler Filowich.
He's a big boy.
6'9", 250 out of Manitoba.
I mean, look, they're all big. Let's be honest. Like, when I walk on the floor, and you just kind of look up, and you see the length, the amount of ground that 5 guys on the floor can cover, it is remarkable. The length and athleticism. The whole game is about trying to create space on the floor to allow your athletes, your playmakers to make plays. But you have so much length and athleticism where it's hard to create space because they can close space really quickly.
That, by the way, was Wofford's first free throw attempt of the game, 31 minutes in. It was missed, but then saved. So Dwight Perry's team will get another possession. Second year as a full-time head coach, 3rd overall. Jay McCauley left the program December of 2022.
A lot of times we look at the officiating and say, well, they're not getting the free throw line. Duke is. Well, it's like, it's the way the game's played.
They've also shot 29 threes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just what you think it is because it is on the surface, right? There's a story to be told, and hopefully we can kind of help expose those layers. Like an onion. Word ogre.
What's your go-to onion?
It depends. I mean, like if it's a sub or a hoagie where I'm from, I do like a good red onion.
Yellow onion's very versatile. Knipper on that last basket, by the way. He's got 8.
If I'm making my homemade salsa, it's a white onion.
Do you count a shallot as an onion?
I think it qualifies.
Yeah.
Feels more like garlic to
Very
me.
pro shallot. Another good finish by Filowich.
Only when I'm cooking Italian.
71-24, in case you didn't look at the TV wondering why these guys talking about onions. Here's Foster. Another three for Caleb Foster, and that flag to Foster connection has worked brilliantly a couple of times.
But there's good things happening where Duke is developing a better feel for when they take the action or the ball someplace, what is open. And a lot of times they take the action to the right and they're looking back. And the key is that the guy is rotating to a place where he can receive the pass and make a shot. All good things. Everybody operating on a string for Duke on the offensive end.
The road ahead gets a lot tougher for John Shire. Next game for this team will be Friday night at number 10 Arizona, 10:30 ESPN2. 4 games after that, they get Kansas, currently ranked number 1 in Las Vegas. They'll host Auburn in the ACC SEC Challenge, so 4 top 25 teams in a 6-game span. Duke also plays 3 true road games before Christmas for the first time since 1990-91. Wofford's going, wait, what are you talking about? We're playing 3 road games in a row at the start of the year. But maybe even a more challenging schedule than usual. There's another shot clock violation that John Shire and his staff has put together. They also play Illinois in New York.
Yeah, look, it's challenging on the surface when you look at teams like the Blue Bloods that you see, but also teams with little numbers next to the names. But then beyond that, you start to see different playing styles. You see the different conferences, and I think that's the greatest thing about that schedule, because win or lose, those games don't really hurt you. I think Duke is going to be really well prepared to adjust on the fly, to adapt to games, and then figure out how to make opponents adapt to them. That's ultimately where you become the team. You can control the way the game's played to the point where everybody has to adjust to you.
How much is playing Kentucky style going to help?
Oh, I mean, look, that one, there's so much Kentucky does that you don't see, right? Where you figure something out defensively and you take 1 or 2 options away and they have counters beyond that. And the other thing is they actually have shown the willingness and ability to get to those counters. And that's why I say that's what separates teams. The teams that are able to expose your defense by getting through all your options and having to counter for whatever you take away.
There's the first 3. Cooper Flagg, his first points of the second half. And Duke's 14th three-pointer of the game. Filowich had the last bucket for Wofford. He and Tripp each have 10. Sibbles and Arrington each have 3, so 4 players have scored. Filowich and Tripp were 20 to 26 combined.
See, I think the slip has been a game changer for basketball, where people have really learned how to utilize the slip, particularly against switching defenses.
There's Tripp again for 3. That's going to stay right here. Is that basket going to count? I think there may have been a goaltend there with that ball still on the rim.
See, I like the international rule. I'm changing rules. Why not? The international rule where the ball's live off the rim is awesome, right? You should be able to just swipe it off. If it didn't go in, why allow you to have 15 bounces to maybe get it to fall? If it hits the rim, it's a live ball. You could dunk it home if you're an offense. It's awesome. And if you're a defender, you can get up there and swipe it off the rim. Again,
the basket interference will be reviewed at the 4-minute media.
Okay. Great.
I don't really know, but either way, if you just change the rule, we don't have this issue. We're not stop and play. We're not risking our 2-hour TV window. We're still engaged in the game. It'd be fun. You would see a lot of people attacking the offensive glass. You'd see defenders just flying high to swipe it away.
So the basket currently ruled good. Wofford keeps the ball.
What a possession.
I think there was a foul called in there as well, so it's a 5-point possession, and all for Tripp.
changes everything.
Yeah, gets credited for that 3, which never went in. So Tripp has 11 in the second half. Filowich has 6. Those two have all of Wofford's points in the second half. And Filowich has a rebound, and he's fouled by James.
The basket doesn't officially count yet, or doesn't
No,
count.
It does.
They're going to review it at the 4-minute timeout.
It currently counts, but we heard there that the basket interference will be reviewed at the under 4.
Hey, we're not going to stop play, so we're just going to review it at the 4-minute timeout.
Great.
But we're stopping play right now to tell you about the fact that we're going to look at it at the 4-minute timeout.
Well,
Just
it could have been a lot longer if the stoppage had they reviewed it. It might still be in the stoppage.
Yeah, but enough of us have complained enough. We fixed a lot of that.
We are forever grateful. Tripp.
Don't even get me started on hook and hold.
Bailey, no. Still hasn't scored. Dylan Bailey, 12-point per game scorer, as Evans misses a 3.
Duke needs to recognize right now they've had some empty possessions. It's time to get a good one, right? It's time to have a good possession.
James clattering into Lorenz, called for foul. Our featured women's basketball game on ACC Network this week in the ESPN app, the Sunshine State rivalry, Florida and Florida State. Seminoles have won 7 of the last 8 against the Gators. Coverage begins this Friday night, 7 Eastern on ACC Network and streaming on the ESPN app. Gators took the men's basketball matchup in Tallahassee last night. They looked for the sweep. So here is Jeremy Lorenz. And there is the first point in the second half for Wofford, not scored by Corey Tripp or Kyler Filowich. 6'8" sophomore from Brillion, Wisconsin. 9.7 per game, and he hits both. Wofford's first made free throws of the game as well.
I'm paying attention to this possession. Right, likely a personnel grouping you're not going to see a ton in ACC play.
James Gillis, Harris, Evans, Brown as personnel.
But can you put together a good possession here? Get yourself, a good possession doesn't mean you make a shot. A good possession means you get a good one.
Even up 44. These are important early in the season. James Gillis was in there. Brown got hands on it, and Filowich ties up Evans. So was that a good possession?
No, not really. You could have gotten that shot at any point. Nothing got downhill. Defense didn't have to converge. Didn't lead to a chase. You didn't create any sort of chase. Like, I think that's what you want to see, because if you're John Shire, you also want to see, all right, Sion James is bringing the ball up court. Can we get into something? Who's got a command over this group? Who's got a feel for the game to say, hey, even though it's a blowout, we haven't had a good possession in a while. Let's get one.
In fact, Duke hasn't scored in about 2.5 minutes. Wofford has 7 straight. And a putback by Filowich makes it 9. A dozen for Kyler Filowich. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, so he stuffed the stat sheet for Wofford. And shortchanged him. That was his 9th rebound off that miss, so close to his 3rd double-double of the year.
Dare you.
Evans got a screen from Gillis. Strokes a 3. 15th of the game for Duke.
It's all right. Good read. Try to cheat the play by going under the screen. Evans backs it out, gets an open look. He also had a baseline drive if he really wanted it.
11 for Evans, who did not play against Kentucky. A great shooter, very high basketball IQ.
How many stars?
You know it, all 5 of them. His jersey number is already retired by his high school, by the way. That's amazing. He's barely played at college, and he's already got the number 0 in the Raptors at North Mecklenburg High School.
Can we discuss something really fast?
Yes, please.
Is 0 an actual number?
Yeah, why not?
It's 0. It's
So?
nothing. You should just say null.
What's the number before 1? 0.
There is no number before 1.
How about -1? That's the number before 0. You think negative numbers are numbers? I think 0 is a number. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of this in the final 2:38. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice a change on the score bug. That Corey Tripp 3 from earlier, which was ruled a 3 because of basket interference, has been wiped away. So it is now 80-32, making this comeback task, John, much more daunting
After
for
further
Wofford.
review, the basket interference at 5:41 has been overturned. 3 points
And
of
the
a
crowd
removed
goes wild.
from the scoreboard.
These ruthless fans.
The fake
man.
baby loves it.
I like the announcement. It's like the NFL. They tell you what's going on. Let these guys make themselves known to the crowd.
Yeah,
Communicate.
appreciate the official communication we have this year in the Power Conference leagues, and it'll be used throughout the NCAA tournament. So, Darren Harris is at the line. Freshman from Herndon, Virginia, wearing number 8, which looks like 2 zeros stacked on top of each other. Now, is 0 a number? Well, Google will tell you that 0 is a number. Wikipedia says 0 is a number representing an empty quantity. However, Bad Mathematics on Reddit says it's a common misconception. Mathematics Stack Exchange, John, though, says people often claim 0 is not a number because they lack the background to understand the formal, rigorous definitions of the number system.
Yeah, and anybody that comes up with a stupid explanation like that has too much time on their hands.
Far be it from me not to listen to the Mathematics Stack forum, so I think we have our answer. 0 is no longer a number for Dylan Bailey, who is now 1 for 11 from 3, and he's trying not to grit his way through it. And he gets a Bronx cheer here from the Cabot Crazies.
They just have gotten good looks. They haven't been able to get them to fall, and it just compounds. It gets tougher and tougher.
I know that sounds crazy to folks who are studying, and it's 81-35, but out of the 31 threes, I don't know, have 20 been good looks? 23?
I would say like
5.
20 plus are really good looks. And it's something that when you watch tape, you kind of go back and you say, we can't just be good enough against Wofford. We need to be near perfect so that when we get chasing plays a little bit against Kansas or Arizona, our principles allow us to defend the 3.
I believe there's a substitution coming that's going to light up the Cameron Crazies. It's a little out of our view as Sybil's misses a 3. But Duke has sent a player to the scorer's table. Which
You're
led to a
scrambling in your
reaction.
notes right now.
Well, I just can't see who it is.
Sure. Trying to see if you actually made a column for him.
Once we find out who it is, we'll see if there's a column. Hopefully there'll be a stoppage to get this mysterious player in the game. It looks like it's Spencer Hubbard is what we're told. End of the shot clock, and Evans missed it. Stick back for Mason Gillis. And now Duke will take the substitution timeout. And here is the graduate student Spencer Hubbard.
And double nickels is a number, by the way.
Graduate student Cameron Sheffield. Yes, thank you. These are all numbers, as are 0. Oh, look at this, the Hubbard fan.
And a Viking.
This guy's dream is coming through. Camping out all week. Thinking about painting 55 on his chest. And Spencer Hubbard will reward him with a contribution in the final minute. Hubbard did hit a 3 against Duke a couple of games ago. And they're very much hoping he will again.
That's wild. I love it, man. It's
the crowd engagement here up by 48 is really something to behold. I know people hate or love Duke, but they are so into it from the opening whistle until the very end. And I guess when you camp out for a week, you better be. Hubbard wants a ball screen right now. He'll get it from Gungba. Hubbard, no. But look at this. They're still playing. Harris charging the glass. Sets up a 3 for Evans. 86-35. Duke hits 16 three-pointers in the game. And Flynn bodied up by Hubbard, who will snatch away the rebound. And Duke wins it by 51. A thorough response for the Blue Devils to their first loss of the season.
I look really good offensively. I think that's going to be the focus, is on sharing the basketball, creating space on the floor, and then making it so with good offense, you take rhythm out of the game for Wofford on the other end. I think there are a lot of things you can improve upon defensively if you're Duke, but you've got to feel good about the weapons you have and then the ability to play together. I think that's the thing that stood out to me today. And three-point shooting, you get that going, you're going to have more space on the floor. That's how you maximize the potential of the pieces around you.
Hey, Duke really won last year with defense. They allowed just 57 a game in the NCAA tournament, and that was an eye-opening number. 35 points, the fewest allowed by Duke in the shot clock era. 86-35 final. It wasn't the Cooper Flag show. It wasn't the anybody show. It was the everybody show for
Duke
Duke.
show.
4 players in double figures. We're going to send you to Chapel Hill. Taylor, Eric, EJ, Mark, and Eddie. ACC Huddle as we get you ready for a great day of conference football.